Hello, beautiful people. Yes, you. Yes, you at the back. You're beautiful. How are you all today? I hope you're well. I hope if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you're not freezing cold. And I hope if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you're not too boiling hot. So, here we are. I'm just keeping warm with my mug of tea, and I've got one of my granddad's old cardies on. Thank you, Grandad. It's the end of month 10. 10 months without a wage. I can't believe it. I feel like I'm sort of repeating myself at the end of each month when I say that. I can't believe it. But it's true. As every month goes by, I just think, wow, I should have done this way sooner. Oh my goodness. In fairness, I wouldn't have been able to do it sooner because I did need to work in order to pay off the mortgage and pay off my student debts and all that sort of thing. But now that I'm doing it, I don't think about it every day, but towards the end of the month, when I know I'm going to sort of recap how the month's gone and reflect on it a bit with you guys, it does kind of surprise me each month. And I was thinking about this last night that, you know, I've gone from taking home £2,000 as a nurse to now living on £200 a month. It's staggering. I was going to say the slightly sad thing. It's not a sad thing. How to phrase this. I was also working out in the last few days how much I'm earning per hour at the moment. And the bottom line is, at the moment, I'm having to work anywhere between 10 and 12 hours to earn what I would earn in 1 hour as a nurse. So, for instance, it would take me 5 or 6 hours of sewing, plus another few hours of making a video and getting it onto YouTube in order to earn a tenner. It's paltry. I've been doing loads of sewing, sorting out bunting and trying to price it up. And it's not going to be the cheapest bunting in the world. You know, you can get much cheaper, mass-produced, what have you. But I was working out the cost of the materials, that's one thing, and then adding a bit on for my time. And it's going to work out that it's crazy. I'm going to earn about 50p an hour for the bunting. But I wouldn't change it for all the world now. I just feel so much happier with life. I feel so much more fulfilled. I know that I'm living life how I want to live it, and ethically, morally, I feel like I'm doing the right kind of things. So, nah, wouldn't change it for a second, excuse me. And what's been really interesting this month, so I don't want to dwell on this, but I think it is, you know, it's important because it's all part of what's going on, and these things can affect one's ability to get up in the morning and do the work. So this month I've been dealing with some quite difficult personal things. So, you know, at the beginning of the month, you know about my family sadness. But also this month I've got a really, really good friend who, oh, bless him, he's so poorly, he's in such a bad way, and it breaks my heart actually to see what a bad way he's in, and knowing that I can't really do anything to help other than just try to be there for him. And I've also been dealing with, I don't really know how to put it, a bit of an online bullying situation. Again, I don't really want to go into it. But what I do want to talk about is the fact that if any of these three things had happened a year ago, I just don't think I would have handled them as well. So it's kind of saying to me that, and I've always believed this all through life, that every time I get knocked down and I get back up again, that's actually made me stronger, and it's built more resilience into me. And I think having had these 10 months of pretty much being on my own and having to drive everything myself, I think it's really building, like I say, that resilience in me. I think I was probably quite resilient to start with. I'm quite a tough cookie. I would say I'm generally an optimistic person. I always believe in tomorrow, that tomorrow could be better if it's a bad day today. But I'm really, really noticing that now more than ever. So I don't know why that is. I don't know whether it's because I'm not having to worry about going to work and performing at work, whether that gives me more emotional space to deal with some of the emotional crud that's been heaped on my doorstep this month. Maybe that's it, that I've just got more headspace in which to deal with things. Maybe it's to do with the fact that I generally have been so much happier this last few months because of my new lifestyle. So that kind of, if you like, I'm building up a reserve of happiness so that when crappy things happen, I can kind of draw on that reserve of good stuff. I'm not sure. I think that's something I'll reflect on a bit more. But put it this way, every time someone tries to knock me down, I think, you know what, you're wasting your time, because I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to get back up stronger than I ever was before. So yay! Yeah, I really think that has got something to do with not being at work, and also this being self-reliant. There we go. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag this month from that point of view, but it hasn't stopped me. So if you remember at the end of month 9, I was talking about I need to stop procrastinating. It's really working. It's really, really working. I mean, there are days when I get up and I think, I really don't want to tackle that job, whatever it is, but I'm doing that job first in the day, and then rewarding myself with a nicer job later on. So I'm motoring through this list of outstanding jobs, shall we say, just getting through them. And my goodness, I think that builds resilience too. I think if you tackle the stuff you don't want to deal with, if you tackle it head on, once it's dealt with, wow, firstly there's the relief of getting it out of the way. But then there's this kind of a funny little bit of self-pride of thinking, yes, I did that. And that's incredibly positive, and it sort of reinforces itself. So the positivity you get from tackling something you don't want to do, that somehow, well, for me, what it's been doing is it's been producing this kind of energy to then keep doing it the next day. Yay! You know, for a bit of an up and down month, I don't half feel happy. Oh my goodness. So there've been a couple of little moments this month when I thought about the money situation. So I have done loads more sewing this month, getting things ready to sell. As I was mentioning, in January, started doing a sort of dabbling with the auction scene again, which I'm really enjoying, and that I'm going to get going much more as time goes on. So that's all really good. So I can start to generate a little bit more, because although I'm living on very little, I will carry on doing so, and I'm happy to do so. I would like to maybe have, 30 or 40 quid a month coming in that I can put away into savings for emergencies. I have got my savings from before I left work, but it's just that kind of safety net. I really want a safety net. So yeah, if I can generate 30, 40, 50 quid a month over the 200, so that I can shove it away. Or say, you know, buy a nice bottle of wine every now and again. But yeah, I really don't want for anything. So as I say, I had a moment of thinking, oh, sort some more money out. But the other moment this month is to do with food. It's been going great, but I did about a week or so, I did a stock take. And it's kind of like this every year, although having said that now, in previous years I'd just go to the shops and supplement, but I am kind of down to tomatoes, beans, onions. I've got loads, which is great, but it does mean I'm going to be eating lots of dishes based around tomatoes, beans and onions. No, I don't trump with beans. I've got iron guts, it's fine. I've got about enough squash to have one squash a week between now and I think the end of May, maybe beginning of June. There's still there's still quite a bit of green stuff in the garden, so the cabbages and kale. And stupidly, when I was in the garden yesterday, or day before, I've lost track of time now, it was the day I had down there in the snow, which was gorgeous. I loved it. I think I got so excited and giddy about the snow, I forgot to harvest. Stupid. So yeah, I've had a little moment of, is this food really, really going to last me until the end of May, which is when the first fresh stuff will start coming out. So the broad beans, the garlic, that's about it. So I'm going to be eating broad beans and garlic for a month. I think it will. So yeah, just maybe have to start rationing a bit, but that won't be a bad thing. So I think generally speaking, it's all going great. Yeah, can't quite believe it. I hope I'm not jinxing myself by saying it, but I think the way things have gone in the last 10 months, I was speculating around Christmas, or was it into New Year's Eve? I can't remember now, but I was speculating about being able to carry on for another year. And I definitely am. It's definitely hard work, and it's like I was saying about the earnings, I'm definitely working way longer hours to make way less money, but all the work, I just love it. And let's face it, all the work in the garden, it's not work, is it? It's play. I love it. So actually there was one more thing this month that made me nervous, apart from money and apart from my food supply. Sowing the first seeds, it's so nerve-wracking, and I experienced it a little bit last year, where in previous years I've put the seed in, I'm not bothered, if they come up, they come up, and woo, I'll have whatever's in the garden. But now that these seeds have to work, because it's my food for the whole next year to come. So I have had a few moments of, I hope it all works. But you know what? It's worked for the last 5 years. Why would it not work this year? I have faith. So, in a curiously up and down month, I think life is looking pretty good. And I hope that, especially any of you who've been following from 10 months ago, and I would also like to say thank you to those of you who've been following for 10 months and are regular commenters, you know what I mean, on all my vlogs. Thank you so much for your continued support, it's brilliant. And welcome to all the new subscribers. There's been quite a flurry of new subscribers since sort of November, December last year, which is great. I hope that if nothing else, in listening to me burble on each month and seeing the stuff I'm getting up to in the garden and at home, I hope it gives you some encouragement to think, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, it is possible to live a more self-reliant style of life without having to be completely off-grid in a beautiful cabin in the beautiful woods near a beautiful lake somewhere in the wilds, which yes, I would like. But even slap bang in the middle of a busy city like London, it's possible. Who'd have thunk it? But it is possible. Yay! So, keep dreaming your dreams. Dream bigger and bigger every day. Start to think about how you can put it into action. But the main thing is just keep hold of that dream because it is possible. Yay! Cheers! So, on that happy, optimistic note, I'm going to say cheerio to you all for now. I'm going to go and sit over in my window seat in a moment to just daydream as I watch the snowflakes gently fluttering down. In the meantime, take care everyone.